Welcome to another new episode of the Get Organised with Decluttr Me podcast with myself, Shelina. I hope you're well wherever you are in the world. I'm so happy you're here to join me as part of your journey with decluttering and organising. So whether you're brand new today or you're hearing me again, I am so grateful. Thank you for being here, listening to me, and I'm always so grateful. I'd love to help more people with their quest for a clutter-free and organised home. And my podcast is a great way for people to be inspired to take action. So I have a favour to ask. If you like what you hear, can you press the follow, subscribe or like button and share your thoughts or leave a review on the podcast as well? I would be so grateful for that. So I'm starting a mini-declutter series where you only need 15-20 minutes to sort out the area. It can be overwhelming and a lot to deal with alone, but listening to me whilst you're getting on with clearing that space can help motivate you to get it done, and you get to hear my voice, which I hear is not a bad thing. So today's first mini declutter session will be focusing on those junk drawers. They're often the catch-all for all the clutter around the house. They can be in the front hallway, the kitchen drawer, or your bedroom, or anywhere. I have found junk drawers and shelves all over the house. If you have multiple junk drawers, I want you to focus on one drawer whilst you listen to this episode today. So let's talk about why junk drawers exist. They are often a symptom of our busy lives. We toss things in there because it's quick and easy, and before we know it, the drawer is overflowing with miscellaneous items. It's like a microcosm of our fast-paced world, where convenience often trumps organisation. Having a junk drawer isn't inherently bad. In fact, it can be a great tool for keeping other areas tidy by providing a designated spot for small miscellaneous items. The problem arises when we lose track of what's in there and it becomes a cluttered mess. Identifying the types of items that typically end up in the junk drawer is the first step in decluttering. Common items include pens, rubber bands, loyalty cards, which we often don't need now because it's all on an app. Batteries are always everywhere. I don't know why. Everybody has batteries everywhere. They're never in one place. It's weird. Receipts and small tools. Small tools is another big thing that's in random places, and you can never find it when you need it. Measuring tapes as well. So recognizing these patterns will help you to create a more functional system. So today I want you to let go of the guilt around your junk drawer. Everyone has one and it's okay. Even I have one in my kitchen drawer and it's organised, but every so often I went into it yesterday. It's got a big sieve in there. If a big sieve fits in that drawer, but it's got light bulbs and it's got a cheese board. It's the most randomest drawer. It's my junk drawer. It's random. It's very organised. I know what's in there, but I don't know why. It doesn't make sense, but that's my junk drawer. So, don't feel guilty. Everyone has it, including myself. And today you're going to just transform it into something that works for you and not against you. Before I get into the actual decluttering with you, let's make sure you're fully prepared. So I want you to get these things. So you can pause after you've heard what I'm saying that you need to get. So first you have to get a flat surface. So this could be a dining table, a countertop, or even the floor. I like using the floor because it's a big space. Just make sure you have enough space to spread everything out. Then you need cleaning supplies. So a damp cloth and an all-purpose wipe or spray, or those cleaning wipes, those Dettol wipes you can get to clean the inside of the drawer. Next, get a few containers handy for storing items into them, into the certain categories. So you can use small boxes, Tupperware, or even repurposed containers. There's some great small ones you can get in a box of 14 from Amazon, which are perfect for these junk drawers. I'll put a link for them in the show notes. So if you can get them, that's amazing. If you can't, just repurpose and use what you have. Also get a rubbish bag and a donation bag or a box so you can put things in there which are rubbish or which can be donated or given away. Having this all ready will make the process so much smoother and much more efficient. So now let's move on to the decluttering process. So first, take a photo of your junk drawer so you can see how well you've done decluttering and organising at the end. So first, I want you to empty the drawer. So I usually don't say this to take everything out, but for this, take everything out. Every single thing in there, and then spread it out on your flat surface. So this is going to help you to see exactly what you're dealing with. And while you're taking the things out, if you see things that are completely and utterly rubbish, there's always those small pieces of paper, like scraps of paper. They're always in the drawer for some reason, like they've come off something else. And throw them in the bin straight away or in the recycle. Just throw it away. It's actually amazing how much you can fit into a junk drawer. I'm sure there is so much in there. You're like, how did it all fit in? So yeah, take everything out and put it on the surface and then look at it. So sort the items into categories. So get all the tools together, the stationery together, batteries, lip glosses, electronics, everything, put it into little categories. So it's crucial for you to know what everything is and what categories there are, so you have an understanding of what you have and what you can fit back into that drawer. And I mean, obviously you can fit everything in the drawer, but whether you want to fit everything in the drawer like it was before, obviously not, right? So do that. And if you have small boxes or bowls or containers to put everything into those categories, that's great. That will help you as well, and it will make you feel less overwhelmed. Next, decide what stays. So be ruthless here. If an item doesn't belong where it's supposed to be, it hasn't been used in the last 6 months, or you have duplicates of them, consider it whether it needs to stay in that drawer, should go somewhere else, or can get thrown away or donated. So think about the purpose of it. Does it have a purpose? Like, do you need it? Like, is it useful? Is it useful somewhere else? So a big example is scissors. There's scissors always everywhere. And like in IKEA, you could buy like a pack of 4 in a thing, and then you couldn't even take it out of the pack because you need scissors to cut that thing. So yeah, they were bonkers. So people had multiples of those scissors. I have multiples of those scissors still lying around, but I have them in designated places around because you always need scissors in weird places. So if you have multiple pairs of scissors from that drawer, see if you can put them elsewhere. So I have a pair of scissors in the first kitchen drawer because you need scissors nearly every day for cutting packets, cutting something. There's always one. And I always have one in my bathroom because there's always something with your toiletries or some little thing that, a label, clothes label, that needs to be cut off. So I always have these scissors ready. So put the scissors where you think you'll need them all the time. And you most probably don't need many scissors in one junk drawer. Next, throw away anything that's broken and old. So test out the pens and discard the dried out ones. The batteries that have melted or stopped working, throw them away. Expired coupons and receipts as well, throw them out. I've also found that lots of people have takeout menus in their junk drawers, which are for places that don't even exist now, or they don't have that food anymore because they changed the menu. And most people order food on the delivery apps now, like Deliveroo or Cream or whatever. So you don't need to have the food menu. So you can definitely put them into the recycle bin. So now you've emptied the drawer, you've taken everything out, categorized it, clean the drawer first. So you've got the spray or the wipes, clean it inside, outside, get rid of all that dust and debris that accumulates so easily in these drawers for some reason. And it wouldn't be nice. It's a starting afresh in that drawer. So now comes the organizing, which is, to be honest, the best bit. It's the funnest bit. So you've done that hard work of throwing away and relocating items in your junk drawer. So it's time to start sorting and dividing. So divide up your drawer's contents into piles of like items. So there'll be things like writing items, so the pens, pencils, markers, crayons, even though crayons should really go with the arts and crafts stuff or in the playroom. Then there's office supplies, so rubber bands. Rubber bands are like a nightmare. Why do people have so many rubber bands, even now? But there's always loads of rubber bands in junk drawers. Paper clips, staples, one stapler. And I don't think you need a hole puncher in a junk drawer, but one stapler. Notepad and post-it notes. Electric items like chargers, batteries. As I said, batteries are always everywhere, but make a designated space for batteries or put them somewhere else. Headphones as well. So if you go running or you need them for travel and stuff, put your headphones in there. Also mint, gum, lip gloss, chapstick, perfume, or we're in the Middle East, like We like having lots of perfumes at the door to spray on before we go. So if you have, if you don't have space on the top of the counter, you can put them in a drawer as well. And sunglasses and reading glasses. But you only need about 2 sunglasses. You don't need to have 50 of them in the junk drawer. If you have extra 50, go put them somewhere else or donate them. Do you wear all of these sunglasses? I know some people do, but really, do you? Then use drawer dividers. So they're essential for keeping items in their designated spots. You can find adjustable dividers at most good home stores, and but check, because the dividers are sometimes quite high and they might not fit in the drawer. So make sure you do the measurements. So find the measuring tape and put that in that junk drawer, but measure first to see if that'll work. Or you can find like small boxes and containers. You can find them in the home stores as well, or on Amazon. You can also use small jewelry, like the cardboard boxes you get for jewelry, the Tiffany box and stuff. You could use that, Tupperware, or repurposed containers you already have at home. The goal is to create compartments that will hold items in place. So for items that always seem to run away in the drawers, like rubber bands, you could use small Ziploc bags instead. Next, I want you to allocate the sections of the drawer for each category. So for example, all the stationery in one area, tools in another, and so on. That makes it so much easier to find what you need quickly. Make sure there's some wiggle room to add miscellaneous items that will make sense for the drawer at a later date, which you might not have right now. Have a little bit of wiggle room. If your junk drawer has a handful of receipts, schoolwork, and other random paperwork, sort those important documents into a file folder and then put them underneath the organized sections. If possible, store those documents elsewhere for more frequent access. Or if you've got like a magazine file, you could put that in there on top of the cupboard. See what works for you, but have a space for them if you usually put your important paperwork or schoolwork in that drawer. Limit the items, so only keep what you truly need and use. A junk drawer doesn't have to be a black hole for random items. It can be a well-organized space with essentials that are easy to find. If you have a junk drawer that's near the entrance, make the drawer the place to keep your passes, your keys, your cards, some spare change, and a small amount of stationery. Make another drawer a place for your main stationery items, your batteries, your tools. Think about it in that sense. If you share your home with others, labels can help everyone to know where things go. It makes sure that it maintains everything over time. This is especially helpful if you have kids who might use the drawer. If you have a label machine, use a 9mm size label to label the drawers. If you don't have a machine, use stick-on labels or post-it notes which you hold down with sellotape. It doesn't have to be sophisticated. It just has to work for you and your household. I always love hearing from our listeners about their experiences and challenges. Some listeners had asked me to talk about the junk drawer and had sent their questions, so here they are. I have a lot of small tools in my junk drawer. How can I organize them better? Now, I have talked about tools and the organizing tools, and I might talk about it again. And this is an awesome question for those small tools. They can easily get lost in the junk drawer. So I recommend using a small toolbox or a dedicated section with a divider specifically for the tools. You can even use magnetic strips on the inside of the drawer to hold the metal tools in place. So I hope you found that useful. Another comment was, I tried decluttering my junk drawer, but it always gets messy again. So this is a common issue. The key is maintenance. So regularly review the contents and adopt a 1 in, 1 out policy to help keep your drawer organized. Also make sure everyone in the household knows where things go. So labeling helps with that. So I hope you found that useful. And if you have any more comments, please send them to me and leave them in wherever the comment box is. So finally, let's talk about maintenance. Keeping your junk drawer organized is an ongoing process, so here are a few tips to maintain that order. First, regularly review the contents. Set a reminder to go through the drawer every few months. It doesn't have to be a deep clean like it was today, but just a quick check to ensure that things are still organized. This helps to prevent items from accumulating and keeps everything in check. You can schedule this task on your calendar to stay consistent. So you can put it on your paper calendar or on an app on your phone. As I've said before, adopt a 1 in, 1 out policy. So for every new item that you add to the drawer, remove one. This helps prevent the drawer from becoming cluttered again, and it's a simple yet effective rule to follow. And make a habit also of putting the items back into their designated spots immediately after use. This small effort can go a long way in maintaining the order. If you find an item that doesn't belong in the drawer, take a moment to put it in the proper place. Also encourage everyone in the household to follow this rule. Also, I would recommend you create a catch-all basket. So if you find the drawer getting cluttered again, place a small basket nearby to temporarily hold items that need to be stored somewhere else and later. This way, the drawer doesn't become the dumping ground again. Finally, take an after photo so you can see the difference in the before and after of organizing your drawer. And you can share it with the household so that they understand that you don't want it to go back to being the before, you want it to stay as the after state. So there you have it, a comprehensive guide to decluttering and organizing your junk drawer. Remember, the goal is to create a space that serves you, not the one that adds to your stress. By following these steps and tips, you can maintain a functional and organized drawer that makes your life so much easier. I hope you found these tips helpful, and if you have any questions or want to share your success stories, feel free to reach out on social media or through the website. I love hearing from you and seeing how these tips are making a difference in your lives. Thanks for listening and happy organizing. And don't forget to subscribe to the Get Organised with Decluttr Me podcast for more episodes to transform your space and your life. Take care, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye.